Big thanks to Bluefin Distribution for sending this out. Check them out and links to buy in the description. Kaiju, Turtles, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hello there, collectors. It is Steven here, and welcome to another SH Figuarts MCU review, where today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Captain America Avengers Assemble Edition. This is going to be Captain America as he appeared in the iconic blockbuster movie Avengers. Avengers, which apparently we have not had before. We've had Civil War, Endgame, a ton of them, not Avengers proper. Now, with this iconic appearance of Captain America, because there were a ton of folks who saw Avengers, this may very well be the entry point for many collectors, new and old alike. So, without further ado, let's take a look to see whether or not Cap here is going to be worth adding into your collection, or if he shouldn't be left behind enemy lines. Because War Hero, good reference. Overall, Cap does look a little bit darker in color scheme from the prototype, but not a whole heck of a lot. And he actually does look pretty good, where they were able to incorporate some dry brushing, most notably sort of a grayish, almost silver in some lighting dry brushing. It really does enhance the details. Now, I will say that the old dot matrix printing for the faces that Bandai has used, it has come quite a long way, and I will say that from the pictures that I have seen, because I did not purchase the original Captain America releases in the SH Figuarts line, I will say that in hand, the faces, we will take a look at the alternate head sculpts for Cap here later on in the accessory section. The faces do look rather nice overall for this release. The overall paint scheme for the body is relatively clean, and the actual silver paint that they used for Cap, whether it's going to be the A on the head or the star on his chest or wherever else on the body, relatively clean considering the size of the figure, and the more so metallic paints across the board for pretty much any company can be relatively difficult to execute well. Masking is clean on Cap. We're not really going to have overbleed pretty much anywhere. Overall, I would say that this is going to come down to your own personal preference. For what we have here, I don't think there are many particular issues with Cap, except for maybe using the 1.0 style hip joints, which can definitely add to the aesthetics or take it away. So yeah, it's going to be up to you. Generally speaking, Cap does look pretty good. Going for a more so fluid body sculpt, Captain America here doesn't really look like he has a whole bunch of articulation, but he is engineered rather well, I would say, and he's pretty fun to pose. Well, what do we have? Well, as you can see here, his head is going to plug in on a ball joint, a pure proper ball joint here, so that way you're going to be able to get some movement there. So just out of that ball joint in and of itself, it's really only good for looking left and right and down a little bit and rocking, but then when we factor in we have the ball jointed neck, we can get him to look up about that far, down about that far, rock from side to side, so that's good. Now, you may think he can't really look up about that far, but just hold on to that thought, and we'll come back to that in a second. Now, he is going to have ball-jointed shoulders, which do allow you to swivel them as well as rock them in and out, along with shoulder hinges, so this way we can raise and lower his arms. Now, you're going to notice that there is not a bicep swivel, except for the way that the shoulder is connected, there is going to be a plug in here to the forearm, so this way we can get a little bit of swivel movement right there at the shoulders. So, kind of like the bicep swivel. So it's kind of hidden in with the sculpt, which is pretty good. We do have double hinge elbows, as you can see here, and then they do have just a little bit of a give, so that way you can get a little bit of movement there. But what's also pretty cool is that, I kind of gave that away, we do have forearm swivels as well, so they are going to move just a little bit. It doesn't really help too much with articulation, but if you are really looking to get the most out of your figures posing, then you will be able to do that with Captain America. And you can even see that little swivel there at the elbow on this arm a little better. Now for the wrists, standard Figuarts style, where we are going to have a swivel where they plug in, a hinge, and a ball joint for where the hands attach in. So that's good. Now for the ab crunch, it is going to be a ball joint, and we can rock around, twist it, turn it, all that good stuff. And then when we factor in the waist ball joint, we don't really have any issues with Captain America looking up. But if you do stretch it a little bit too far, then we are going to have that little bit of a gap. But if you don't mind that gap, especially when you pull the belt down, then yeah, Captain America has no issues looking up. He is going to be using the 1.0 Figuarts style body, so he is going to have drop-down hinges at the hips, at the pelvis area, so that's pretty cool. He can kick out about that far forward, that far back. Booty is sculpted when we push those legs up, that far forward, that far back, and it is a Figuarts 1.0 style, so we're going to do splits about that far. We do have double hinge knees, pretty cool. Also forgot to make mention, we do have a dedicated thigh swivel there. We are going to have what appears to be a double barbell double access barbell style, get the words right, Stephen, ankles. So this way we do have ankle rocker movement along with spinning them around if you would like, so that's pretty good. And then we do have toe hinges. So overall for Captain America, again, he doesn't look like he has all that much engineering put into him, but realistically speaking, yeah, he's pretty well engineered. You can get him into a lot of fun poses while he is saving the day. Okay, Cap comes with a ton of accessories. Mostly that count is going to come up because of all of the alternate hand parts he comes with. He comes with a few extra head sculpts. He comes with 2 shields, some different bands for the shield, and a part so this way he can throw it. So let's take a quick look at all of the different hands that he comes with, and he's going to come with 2 sets of splayed hands. He's going to come with a hand set, so this way he can throw the shield. He's going to come with 2 right hand parts, so this way he is pointing or doing the Cub Scout sign. He's going to come with a set of hands, so this way he can hold the shield in sort of that resting, peaceful position that he has, and left and right hand parts, so this way he can hold the shield. You may also notice in this shot here, he does have 1 armband part that can plug into the shield when he is going to be using it, and also 2 band parts, so this way when he is throwing the shield, which you can see on your left hand side of the screen, the part that is used to replicate Cap throwing the shield. Now, those are the hand parts. We'll take a look at those as they are used throughout the rest of this section. Head sculpts. They did some fun stuff here. So, Cap is going to come with a gritting teeth head sculpt where he's really into the action, and this is kind of where there may be just a little bit of a quality control thing, where it does look like the red for his lips may be down just a little bit for here. Overall, though, I do think that this face does look pretty good. It does capture the emotion pretty well. Now, the other 2 head sculpts are going to be essentially the same. What we are going to have is going to be the unmasked head sculpt with a neutral face. Actor likeness, Chris Evans does look pretty good. Now, the other head sculpt is going to be the same, except for he's been in quite a few battles, and he looks a little dirty. Now, what's the cool thing here is that overall, you can just alternate the heads. You can pop them off and swap them, all 4 that you get. However, they did include alternate parts, so this way if you wanted to properly display Cap without his cap on and he has a little bit of a hood, you can do that. He has a clearly exposed skin, I guess, neck. Now, it's very easy to swap this out, but you're going to have to grip the default neck piece and pop it out. Do take note there is a little tab and a little slot on the different neck pieces for the corresponding alternate neck pieces that get set into the body. So just keep this in mind when you are swapping out those parts, and it is very easy to do. If you're struggling though, please apply heat as necessary so you do not break anything. All right, so to get Cap to hold the shield, we are going to have respective alternate left and right hand parts that are going to plug into what is known as the wide part of the holes on the flip side of the shield. Then we are going to have that 1 armband part that's going to go in the narrow side. Pretty easy to do, not that difficult. Then we are going to have the option parts for Cap to throw the shield. We are going to have 1 hand, it kind of looks like a karate chopping hand that is going to have a little peg in it. And what that does is it plugs into that part that's going to plug into the bottom of the shield. That is going to go into the wide part just like you would do for the hands. Now that's going to be relatively easy to pose, but do keep in mind it is rather heavy. Now the details for the shield, generally clean, both for the normal and the dirty one. The dirty one uses some gray and white paint application to bring out some of the battle damage. There's no chips in here, which I do think would be relatively cool, but at the same time, it does get the job done. And the alternate hand parts, pretty much you can see them all used in the different picks that are here. And, Cap can do, a kind of bring it on stance. Yeah. So overall, he comes with pretty much everything you could need, except for maybe some alternate expressions on this release. And yeah, he's good. Rock solid release. I wasn't sure how I was going to handle this section because, yeah, there's a lot to go here. I'm sure I missed a couple of things for you, the viewer, depending on how you wanted to pose this guy. So basically, between the articulation and the accessories, anything you want to do here with Cap, your imagination is pretty much going to be the limit. Now, here, with previous Figuarts releases, they did include some accessories due to licensing. They were able to get around that. Here, we're just going to get the figure and, I would argue, crucial accessories. We don't have any effect parts. If you are looking for effect parts, though, please check out some videos that I have to help you get the ones that you need. And to round out the review, here's going to be a size comparison with all of the Avengers figures that came out at the same time. So this way you get a good idea of how they're all going to scale, not only with each other, but with some other figures you might have on the shelf. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. Overall, I am relatively pleased with this Captain America release. We have plenty of accessories, and even though the 1.0 body style is being used here, the articulation is serviceable enough that if you are really good with posing your figures, you know how to work the joints, you're going to be able to get him into plenty of fun poses. In terms of paint application and sculpt, it's relatively on model, and that's pretty much all I have to say. If you are thinking about picking this up, the $90 or so price tag, that may be the make or break point, but I don't think I'm going to be getting any other Captain America. Pretty straightforward. It's a nice vanilla figure. Can't really ask for much else. 2 claps. Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now you've heard a lot from me, I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.